restitution as a way of apology. This is where you say, what should I do to make it up to you? It is a very important thing because also it comes looking like repentance. In other words, it is not necessarily repentance, but it can be also be like repentance. In which way? There are people, if you ask, what should I do to make it up to you? They will give you, or they will tell you, this is what you should do, or it will be okay if you never do this again. So, but most of the time, restitution, this is where if you've wronged your husband, if you've wronged your wife, or your friend, or your boss, they might give you a task to do for them. They might tell you, please hug me. They might tell you, please be closer to me. They might tell you, please, now that you've beaten me and you've broken my arm, I would like you, whenever you go to therapy, you go with me, or do the massaging, or something like that. So when we talk about restitution, that's what we are talking about. This is where, as a husband, you learn to show sympathy more than you usually do on these other daily basis. Now, that comes after you've apologized. In other words, this is where you say, forgive me for what I have done wrong. But please, I don't want this to end up here. Instead, I want to know what I can do to make it up to you. And that is where most men, as we said, are. They like to give flowers, they like to buy gifts, they like to do some stuff that you tell the wife, please, everything is okay, and this is my way of apology. But that doesn't work at all. In fact, most women, it doesn't work. I have come to realize that most women, they like it when a man takes the responsibility of the wrong they have done over doing restitution. In fact, maybe according to the circle of my influence, that is to the people that are around me that I influence or who do influence me, you'll find that most women, they like a man who is responsible. If you've done what is wrong, don't come with, I did this because no. Come straight and ask forgiveness. But also I come to realize that most men, they like restitution. Yes, both. You come and own you are wrong, and then also you restitute. I know it is surprising that what men we expect women to do, it's what they expect us to do the most. But also what we do for women, instead that's what they should be doing to us. So I have come to realize that besides the 5 languages of apology, that even the 5 languages of love, we do them the other way around. Like we never ask someone, how do you like to be loved? Or how do you like to be apologized to? Instead, we just stand with what we think is right, because it is right with us, and then we just do it. Or else, because something is not a big deal to us, we think it is not a big deal to the other person. Or because it is a big deal to us, we feel it also must be a big deal to them, whether we told them or whether we never. And let me even put it this way, even if you've told your spouse, let me tell you, making it his or her default to love you like that, to apologize to you like that, it might take some exercise. It might take a while. And that's why it is very important that each and every husband and wife, we commit our hearts to learn and to unlearn and to relearn. What does that mean? Right now, you and your wife, you are still at a fiancé to the public. They call you fiancé and everything. So there are things that as the community allows or community doesn't allow. Now, tomorrow you get in marriage. There are things now that she will be demanding from you, or that at least she will be expecting from you. Let me not use the word demand, but expecting. There are things she'll be expecting you to do, and also there are things you'll be expecting from her. Now, when she gets pregnant, don't be surprised that the things she wanted when she was still your fiancé, and also when you are still before the child, that she might tell you, no, I no longer want this stuff. Now, you're gonna have to unlearn those stuff, not because they are bad. But then sometimes you don't unlearn something because it is bad. Sometimes it's because it's no longer working. So now you want to continue to insist on the things she used to like, by force. It can be like maybe you used to cook, let me say, eggs, but now she doesn't want eggs. Tomorrow it might be maybe you liked to do something else and she doesn't like that. So this is very important that we learn how to learn to love our spouse and also to apologize to them, and how to unlearn and also relearn. Because also don't be surprised after giving birth that she might want that. Your husband might be going through a time that is challenging in their businesses or in their calling or in their career, based on which name we give it. And maybe they want you to be more physical, more affirming, more sex, more this stuff. So you need to understand, but also you who is going through something that makes you change your language that is more familiar to you. Before you switch your language of love, before you switch your language of apology, please communicate. Let it be known to the other spouse so that they don't keep guessing because they are doing the one you told you and it is not working. They try the other, they try the other. No, make life simple. Make life simple. Because no teacher who likes it when the students are struggling to learn, at least the right teacher, a true teacher. You get more joy when children are learning or when your students are learning and they are passing. So in marriage, you are the best subject that your husband is going to study and which he will never stop to study. The same way the other way around. Wives, you have to study your husband forever. But now studying them forever and without graduating, it doesn't mean that you are not getting to make some steps in regard to know them. No, you have to be knowing them day at a time. It is like walking. No day that you will not walk, or at least no year will go without us walking or moving around. But that doesn't mean that there is a day that will come and then you say, I will never make any step again in my life. No. So knowing your spouse helps you to know how to love them in this season and in the next season, but you will never stop to love them. Oh, wow. I like this. Knowledge, understanding equals love. So in other words, when we don't know someone and we know them, but we don't understand the knowledge we've known about them, it is impossible for us to love them. So knowing someone, it can be something like knowing their name, going to the depth of their heart. Understanding them, it is why you interpret. When I say I like eggs, you don't just go and buy trays of eggs. No. What kind of eggs? What kind of the cooking style? Hot, cold, fried or boiled? So you need with salad or no salad? Cooked onion, fried onion or raw onion? Tomato. So you need to understand when I say I like eggs, do you even understand? Or you just rush and go? Have you ever gone to a restaurant and see when they present the kind of rice they have, they will tell you there's pilau, there is this, there is white, there is vegetable, there is all kinds of rice that is cooked in different way. So you can't just expect because your husband told you I like sex and then every day you just go and sleep. No, you need to go to the depth. How do you like sex? What are the most hours that are more? Yes, I know you can get sex every day, but what are the most hours? Okay. Which styles do you like? How do you like me to say it? Which lingeries do you like? So, people will assume we know our spouse until you get to realize that the friends of your husband, they're the one who know him than you. And yet it is so embarrassing or ashaming, let me use that word, that you find a friend, your male friend, they know more about your husband, and yet you should be the one to know more of him. Now, it is wrong that a husband goes outside to say what he likes and doesn't like to strangers or to friends who cannot even satisfy him, and then fail to tell the wife. That is wrong. So it is very important that you two, we both learn which information to not give outside, and also we learn that we have to give information to our spouses. But you get what we mean. So it is important to know this is my love language and understand it and then have the wisdom to apply it. Simply when you say love is applied knowledge. Love is the knowledge that is understood and applied. It's as simple as that. When I say that I need to be patient to you, it means that I know there's some wrong behaviors you are doing, or there's some studying that you are pursuing to know. And meanwhile, until you attain that, I have to extend grace. So now if I don't know, do you know that, do you know that the people failing to love people, it's not that they can't love them. Simply, it's that they don't know the formula of loving. This woman, she's impossible. I always do this, but she says no. I do that, she says no. Listen, you can never love someone until you have known. Okay, you can never love someone in the right way without having known them the right way. Get the first information about people, I'll show you someone who you are going to love the wrong way. So you must know them exact. I know there are some things even us, we don't know about ourselves. That goes for men and women. But most of the time, 90%, you are the best teacher. So you have to learn who you are so that also you can teach yourself to your spouse. The problem is that you're single, we are just there, eating, sleeping, and that is all. We never go to study ourselves who we are, so that now we are able now to transform that message to the other person. For these past 4 days, 5 days that we've covered what apology is, I believe some of you have been surprised. Now you are getting to know, oh, that's why she's been apologizing and I couldn't feel the sincerity. And yet I could see her crying. Have you ever seen people who say, I have done everything I could, have apologized in any way I can, but this guy does not accept my apology and enough is enough. I'm gone. I accept I wronged him. I accept what I did to him was wrong, but why can't he receive my forgiveness? Why can't he forgive me? What should I do? Maybe after you did what you did the language of recompensation. You started to give a lot of sex. You started to do the acts of service. You did all of these things. Because recompensation, another way, it is where you do the love languages of your partner more than you usually do them. Now, you did all you could. You took the responsibility. You owed your mess. You did everything, but still, the guy is, or the lady is like, So now, yes, it is her fault or his fault if you have asked them, how can I apologize? And they haven't told you. But if you have not, then please, you should. So thank you so much. We will continue to learn the right way and the authentic marriage in Christ.